So I reiterate here, the bill is dead.
The story of this great city is about the years before this night. We are free!
Hey everyone, it's a new episode of Ho Ho Hong Kong. I'm sitting here, still by myself, still no sight of Vivek, just me and my impressions of my friends. I have a friend on the podcast and no Vivek yet, so I'm just gonna go straight to my friend. Alright, wait, I want you first to hear my impression of Vivek. Alright, you ready? Here we go. Hey everyone, it's Ho Ho Hong Kong. I'm your host Muhammad Magdi, and I'm sitting here with my friend.
The cool, the talented, the smartest Vivek Mahbani, who is willing to put up with this bullshit.
All right, how do you guys think of my impression of Vivek? It's pretty spot on. All right, so today I scripted the whole thing. I will play both me and Vivek because if you haven't caught up last week, I took over Vivek's apartment, his life, his mom, and his girlfriend. They're all mine now. Vivek is nowhere to be seen. Probably in a ditch somewhere. I'm not going to tell you where. It's in Muewo. You can go find them. It's me and my... co-host, quote-unquote, Vivek Mahbani.
I'm the co-host, Vivek Mahbani.
Yes, there you go. How are you doing, Vivek?
I am doing very well. I feel like I'm in Egypt right now. In fact, Egypt is a great place to be at.
Thank you.
I would like to go to the base hall for a comedy show. The Backstage HK, follow that.
Yes, that's Vivek's real words.
I endorse this funniness.
So stupid. Before we get into our guest and everything, actually I would like to give a shout out to our buddy Akil. Akil runs a Craftissimo on Typing Chan. So a couple of weeks ago, I was walking home from whatever gig, and I run into Akil, who was just leaving his shop, Craftissimo, and he says, "Hey, dude, wait a second." And he pauses his earphones and turns his phone around, and he's actually listening to our podcast.
No.
Yeah, and it was so fucking cool. And he started coding stuff that he like laughed at recently and stuff. So shout out to Craftissimo and Akil, super nice. And I made a joke like, sometimes you listen to people and they come to life.
That's so meta, dude.
Yeah, it is so meta. But he also knows I live literally right around the corner
Yeah.
from his house, from his shop.
Yeah.
So it's not that weird. But if you haven't been to Craftissimo, pretty cool spot, very neighborhood kind of feel. But we're also, speaking of friends, we have an old friend. It's my old friend. You, Vivek, are meeting him for the first time.
I would like to meet your friend.
There you go. I will introduce you to my friend. How long have we known each other, Matt?
We met in the summer of 1972.
There you go.
That sounds like a
It
Bon Jovi
was-
song, man.
We met actually during Woodstock.
Yeah, during Woodstock. It wasn't during the festival. That was in the 60s. This was just we were just in a field in Woodstock, New York. We both had got the information about the concert series that was supposed to take place very, very late.
Yes.
And we finally made our way there. And there was no one playing music. We had to make our own music back then. That's how the kids did it. I don't know what it's like for you young
Trash
people
cans
today.
and
Trash cans and hobo skulls, and then there was no rainstorm for us, so we had to make our own rainstorm.
No.
And then we won't get into details of that. It was kind of
Yes.
gross, but we got mud, and that was the goal. And then we slipped and we slided together, and we bonded. I think over
We
this
did bond.
experience.
I think that's the legendary story that Mohammed used to always talk to us about. We're like, we don't believe you. That's bullshit.
Yeah, no,
now we're like, no,
Now you can see actually real deal.
It's a very
I've
true.
never told a lie, actually. It's just me and Abraham Lincoln. That's the two people who don't tell lies.
Well, you know how it worked out for him. So we're all holding out. We're all holding out that you keep your skull together.
Yeah. Was it Lincoln or Washington? I think it's Washington.
Lincoln got shot.
Lincoln. No, but one of the presidents.
Honest Abe, Lincoln. That's the U.S. mythology.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah, it is Lincoln. I was right the
Mythology.
first time. Yes.
It's pretty fascinating too because the U.S. is such a young country that it has all this mythology, but it's so forced.
Yeah.
Because they had to like scramble and make it up. Like
Yeah.
it didn't have like 1,000 years of mythology
Of
to build
course.
up, right? So it's like, Abraham Lincoln, he's the one that couldn't lie, and George Washington, like, he was so honest. He admitted to chopping down a cherry tree.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Norm Macdonald had a bit about it. It's just like if your kid comes back to you and goes, and I mean, capable of lying, you should be very concerned.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Haven't heard of lying? What is wrong with you? It's so good.
It'd be so good, like, if, let's say 20 years later, that people have these kind of mythologies for us. People like, oh, Matt, that was the guy that couldn't shave.
Yeah, didn't know how to do it. He never learned. He never learned. It's very sad.
He learned and then he forgot. That's even
then he
worse.
forgot.
Even worse,
You
yeah.
actually
Even
forgot.
worse.
During COVID, you just forgot how to
I
shave.
quit.
And then quit.
I gave up on it. And I was just, well, I mean, the line I'll say on stage is, like, the world's on fire. Why am I trying to be presentable? Right?
Sure.
And then it just turned into, like, me, whatever. I'm just
Yeah.
not. And then it kept going. And then
And
now
this became
people will,
part of your
but now
thing.
people will compliment on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, I get more compliments for the thing I've put the least amount of effort into. I literally stopped doing a thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, that looks really nice.
And they're like, hey,
Yeah.
I really like that thing you're not doing anymore.
God damn it, that's the worst, man. It's like all along what your teachers have been teaching, you got to work hard. You're like, no, that's why you were a teacher, because you worked hard.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
reverse the whole game.
So during COVID, like we know each other from a few years ago. We toured together in many places, blah, blah, blah. But during COVID, that's where the transformation to this current version happened.
To the current hobo. Yeah.
Yeah, the current hobo.
The magical hobo.
So I remember us getting on a video call a few times on during COVID, and one of them. So you were from Alabama,
Yeah.
and you kind of went home during COVID, right?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
In a roundabout way.
Yeah,
I was in Australia when it hit, watching, like, tour dates vanish, and then I moved like 40-something cities in Europe up like 2 months.
Yeah.
Which is its own Herculean insanity, right? And then it hit Italy, and then it was like, well, just no one replies to emails now. Why would you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're all dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't, but you know what I mean. I mean, some of them are now.
Yeah.
But no, so I moved those up, and then that hit, and then it was clear. You know what I mean? Like, oh, nothing's
Just go
going
home.
on here.
Everyone's-
and then
it's
I was just
basically
in
like-
Australia with
Yeah.
like no plan. You know what I
Yes,
mean? I'm
no
like, well, I'm just
prospects.
here now. I don't know. I'm not
guess-
from here.
Yeah.
So,
Why didn't you actually stay in Australia? Because you were in Perth. That's a big.
well, you got to
beautiful
keep
place.
it. You got to keep in mind, like. Remember, like, we didn't know what was going
Yes,
on,
yes,
right?
true.
So, like, I was calling friends that work in like consulting stuff and big corporate world things,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, everyone I'm dealing with is transitioning to like liquid. They're moving all their books liquid. They're canceling projects, going
Yeah.
cash heavy. They're bracing
Oh.
for like 16 months." And I'm like, "Oh, all right."
Yeah.
And then the sentence was, "Get out of Australia before you end up behind a fence.
Sure.
Like, we don't know what's going to happen."
Yeah.
And I was like,
Wow,
shit.
that's
So-
another level, man. I hadn't heard they're gonna fence it all in and quarantine you to the point you can't leave the country.
Well,
to
like,
that
no one
level.
knew what was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's more of the fact that like all those huge companies were just immediately like, they have the money to get the research. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So they were looking at it and doing financial projections.
Yeah.
And
Intel.
like,
Yeah.
we're going cash heavy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that was a signal enough that like, all right, well, I mean, for 12 months, there's absolutely nothing I can do. You
Yeah.
know? It's not like I can hang in Australia for 2 months.
My God, in Perth as well. Oof, it's gonna be a long 2 months, man.
I don't know. I could have done it. The dudes that got lucky were the guys that went to New Zealand. I had some buddies that were like doing the festival I was at, and
Yeah.
then they were going to do another Australian festival, and in between they went to New Zealand, and then they got stuck in New Zealand.
Yeah, that is worse.
Dude, this is crazy. So they get stuck in New Zealand. New Zealand goes hardcore lockdown off the
Yeah.
jump. But then they have no cases,
Yeah.
so they just open back up. So those dudes were like, where everyone else were all locked down
Yeah.
on some
Yeah.
level or whatever, and those dudes are just doing sold out shows because they're the
Oh.
only people
But
there.
to own, yeah, exactly. But to
the same audience.
to the same audience,
the same
exactly.
audience, yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Imagine telling the audience like, okay, you guys saw my show,
Yeah.
and if you come back tomorrow, it's 50% off.
yeah.
I'll do the same show.
Yeah, so still get
But
get
it's
drunk.
not like you have fucking anything to do.
I mean, go blackout drunk, you probably forget half the show.
Exactly.
50% off, you make your money's worth. It's all good. Win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, man. So how long were you in Perth then, or did you just decide to leave?
I was just there for a few weeks, and like my timeline's blurry on that. But then I bounced out, and then ended up back in the States, and then bounced around the States a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I didn't start I'd started doing like little shows back when you could, like post-vaccine stuff. But then I didn't start touring until last year. Really.
Yeah. You came back late. You came back very
but,
late.
I mean, like the landscape was. I mean, I don't want to turn it into like a whole like COVID argument. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
But like the landscape of it was, there in the U.S. people were doing shows the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what anybody tells you.
Right.
I don't care what like club websites were like, oh no, we're not.
Yeah.
Oh, we're half capacity.
Yeah.
No, they weren't.
Yeah.
They were full on capacity. Didn't give a shit.
Freedom!
Buddy, they did not care.
Nice.
And like, what's funny is too, because like some of the people who own those places that were doing shows, like they weren't going there. They were
Yeah.
at home. They were like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But, like,
But
I know like 4 bartenders that died of COVID
Right.
because they were
Oh,
working. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
packed shows in the height of it. No one gave a shit. So you had that, and then you had the second round where like once the first vaccines came out, and that was what the funniest one to me is because you get like first round of vaccine, and then all these people who were like super hardcore anti. Don't do a show.
Yeah.
You're a monster if you do a show. Like they got the vaccine and then like announced tour dates. You know what I mean? Like beginning the next day. Like and I'm out. But well, not everyone has had it yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Your audience may not have it.
yeah, but I'm fine. Whatever. Let's
Yeah,
do
yeah,
this.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't, wait forever, right?
Yeah.
And I was just really uncomfortable with it. I've had health things in the past in the past and stuff. So I was not cool with
Yeah.
jumping back in.
Or is this the official statement? Like, I'm not cool, but I did the packed show that they had in the corner shop over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, but then, so during the COVID time, how long were you basically out of the game? How long did you...
I mean, I was writing for other things, but like
like for yourself, I mean, like writing for other things, it's just gigs on the sides, but I'm like your own...
like actual performing.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, it's a solid 2 years?
2
Yeah.
years? Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Dude, that
I think
sucks,
a
man.
lot
'cause-
of us like did like maybe 9 months to a year.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like,
Or
like,
something, just,
regular
like-
performance.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
not having an actual audience, or even having like the worst is when you have the audience, but they're all masked up, or there's a lot
Yeah.
of these restrictions where like they have to be spread apart.
I've done a lot of the Middle East that didn't bother me.
Oh yeah.
I don't need to see. I don't need to see.
He's like, wait, what's that? I'm like, why wait till
That sounds
COVID?
like a good pet show in Saudi.
yeah, he's like, what's your problem
It's
here?
a big deal.
Yeah, and there's always an empty space because that's where the women sit, and they're at home cooking. You know what I mean? Yeah, you have that. Yeah. Okay. So I see. Yeah, so that experience right over there. But then after COVID happened, did you bounce back and see like, all right, this is it. I'm making makeup for those 2 years. I'm going wild. I'm going crazy. I'm going everywhere.
Did
every
you go
corner.
revenge touring?
Yeah, revenge touring.
No, revenge touring. I like that as a concept.
Yeah.
Now the places I would want to revenge against, aren't places I want to go.
Right.
So no, I came back in. I did, just like some gigs here or there, and then started doing a little bit of regional stuff, not a lot, and then immediately was back into like
Whatever.
the
Yeah.
regular touring
Canada
stuff.
mainstay stuff that
Yeah.
I've done forever. And then I started writing like a new show because I was just done. I was supposed to film the other one, you
Yeah.
know? And like that's part of like
Yeah.
what was happening after the Australia shit. So it was like Australia and then all these Asia stuff. I had like 105 cities like set, locked, done. You know what I mean? Promo running in some, all that kind of stuff. And that's what it interrupted. And the end of that was filming that show, right? And then that, of course, is
Just all
not going to happen.
fits out, yeah.
But but by the time I came back and I did a few of the bits that I was doing, I was just like, I just don't want to say the words,
Yeah.
And I've got all these other thoughts, so I started writing this other stuff, and then that turned into 2 shows because I basically was like backlogged, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
right?
you had all that stuff that you hadn't performed
Just
yet.
like I hadn't really thought of, and performed yet, and then I started doing like story stuff that some of it I had done before, and some of it I had never like performed. I'd told the story
as a
like,
full
it did
show, you
everything.
mean, or just like you needed a set?
So I started doing them like as 2 different shows that I was writing at the same time.
Okay.
And then I took those like to Edinburgh and did like 2 completely separate shows. Like the storytelling show is done in the round. It's very, very different.
Yeah.
And then there's just like the comedy hour. That's its own thing.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then that one, like I delved more into like religion stuff that I normally would kind of touch on and move away from.
Yeah. So you
And
were
now I get a little
simultaneously.
bit more
So
into it.
were you doing the shows? Let's say even during the same Edinburgh festival, you were doing 2 shows. Are you saying that?
Yeah, I was doing 3.
Oh, you were doing
yeah.
3, but your own 3 shows.
So 2 of those were
Your own
those 2,
solos.
and then the third is an improv.
Yeah. Okay.
Format show that I
Wow.
wrote.
So then even the marketing itself would be quite wild.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd
you
be-
you were working with our buddy Ollie Horn though, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. That's because like I can just imagine first of all the persona you'd have on stage as a storyteller versus the comedy hour is different. I mean the
No, they're not too.
energy-
I mean, they're not too far off. I'm still me. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I'm
But I
still
mean like but
lunatic.
the whole tone and everything, right?
Yeah, the tone is different on the storytelling thing.
Yeah.
because I'm presenting 2 stories at a time, and then I let the audience decide off the top, like which one would you like to start with, right?
Yeah.
And so like the 2 I normally give off the top is like I can tell you about the time I was smuggled into Bosnia, or I can tell you about the time I learned that cops can be your friend.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And then the choice there is based around the premise of the show, which is like half of the stories are things from before I was sober.
Yeah.
And then the other half are things after sober. And then the common through line is that I basically learned in sobriety is the problem was me. Like drugs and alcohol didn't
Yeah.
want to steal a cop car. I did. You know what I mean? Like that's a
Yeah.
me thing.
Yeah.
So they all kind of base around that. And then we like bounce through like throughout the hour. And the hour's never the same. Sometimes we don't even do the full story. We'll stop halfway and reverse and go back and tell
This
the
is
other
like
one.
the Black Mirror thing they did like on Netflix. I think
Yeah,
in the later seasons they made you choose the rest of the episode.
Yeah, like the old choose your own adventure is the
Yes,
old like
yes.
kids book
Yeah, yeah,
series,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
20
yeah.
page
So
two,
it's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like that, and except the stories don't necessarily like reconnect, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
But they're I will get like halfway like way stations in a story and be like, okay, we can stop here, or I can continue the story,
Yes.
and we do this, and this.
I feel like it would be kind of a bummer to be like, no, we're done with this story. Like
Yeah,
halfway,
yeah.
like, no, don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
it's fine.
Let's talk about Bosnia. The cops one, I get it. It's no big deal. Yeah, I'm not
or
into
like
that.
they're like, oh, all right, oh, thank God he's changing the
he's
story.
offering a change finally.
He's offering a change
Look at that.
finally.
Yeah.
It's like
pretty-
unanimously. If you hear no change, it
yeah, just like
would be
that.
so funny.
Just from the back. Just
Yeah.
change next.
Yeah. You're like, would you guys like me to change? Change. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It is funny because I will get crowds and some of the people will be like super like this
Yeah.
story.
Yes.
And then but the majority are kind of like lackadaisically for the other.
Yes, yes.
But then there's like 2 people that are like, but we want
Yeah.
that story.
But have you had the encounter where you have that smart ass audience member that, hey, how about you do this? What about the cops in Bosnia? You know, one of those? Do you get
No,
those?
I just throw them out. I don't I'm old in comedy.
Well,
man.
having
I have no time for
those jokers coming
Yeah.
in.
No, and like even the younger dudes, and they like want to post like their heckle video clips, and I've got one that's a bazillion years old. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like I'm at the point now where someone starts heckling. I'm like, well, that's great. Do you want to leave? Because like we'll just stop and wait.
Yeah.
I don't do it anymore, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
exhausting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
just
I
have
mean,
no
also
time.
like of the people that I know personally, I think you toured the hardest, and it's you can't keep doing that forever, like fighting the audiences and like
I'm tired of it.
Yeah,
I'm like, just
tired.
leave. Just get the fuck
just
out.
Like, exactly. No.
And so like I try to do places where I don't get those kind of people.
Yes.
In general.
Just people who like respect the art form. It's like or not, don't come. The end.
It's very simple.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
What you get is you get like in marketing you get people like venues marketing comedy show
Yes.
general concept, right? And then that's what the people have bought. Now, what is their concept of comedy show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what they bought, whatever the hell their concept is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a movie theater going, come in, we have movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
and then you
expect
come
is,
into the
yeah.
movie, right?
Yeah.
And then you look up at the screen and you're like, what am I watching? I hate it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not what you thought a movie was.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I do more stuff now that's away from that and more like this is what the show is. This is what the show is about.
Oh, so your marketing
This-
already kind of lets people know ahead of time that this
I'm
is
trying
what
to.
to
I'm
expect.
trying to. Yeah. So
Oh,
it's like
so your audience is more there like, all right, this is what he's giving, this is what I want. I'm coming in for this. I know what I'm coming in for. Not like I'm just here for a show. Entertain me for the next
Yeah.
hour.
no, yeah. So I'm pushing more like my current show is called Colorful, which I may change that name, whatever. But it was just based around a very simple joke about how everybody wants you to be black and white. They want the world to be black and white.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
Yeah.
this way or that way. Be a this or be a that.
Sure.
You know. This
American
is the
politics,
truth.
obviously,
Exactly.
being the biggest. Yeah.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah. Example of that. Yeah.
And I've been around the world a few times, and it's mostly brown. It's not
Yeah.
black or white.
Right. Right.
And then I stop and I go, now, depending on what you thought I meant when you said that, this is a great moment where you get to learn something about you. Whether
Right.
I meant like,
Yeah.
a
Indian
school,
brown,
land,
Mexican brown,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
or just the smell of poop. Because
Yeah.
all of these are accurate. It is mostly those.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
depending on how you interpret that, tells you more about you than anything else.
Right.
And then my argument is that there's a third way. Like, you don't have to just accept this box or that box.
You can be
And then
colorful.
You can be colorful, right?
Yeah.
And then so I take it and through the bits, it's all a bunch of silly ways through
Yeah.
like issues that fall on that.
Now,
like
I'm curious,
guns
though.
being one, and then like perception stuff. Like, I'm from Alabama in the U.S., and I kind of talk about what people think that is.
Yeah.
You know? And then I get into religion and like my view of religion growing up there, and contrasted with going around the world several times and being in places with other dominant religions that I was also not a member of, because I
Yeah.
didn't grow up religious, but grew up around it. And if
you
I
need-
go
You
to
somehow want to look like a rabbi, a sheikh, and a priest.
and
at the
it's
same
somehow
time.
and somehow I look like my line is my beard's at the point that any religious institution I walk by, they start waving me in like I'm late.
Right, yeah. There
They're
you
like,
go,
"We
yeah.
started. What are
Yeah,
you doing?"
yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah.
Right there. But then, so okay, because I'm curious about your marketing thing, where you've come to a point where it's no longer like just come enjoy my show. You're not so much worried about just selling tickets for the sake of selling tickets. You're like, I hope this is the right audience that wants to come. As in, you want an audience that actually wants to come watch your show specifically for what you're giving them, right?
Yeah, it's closer to marketing a play, I guess, but like, because you're trying to give like, this is
Yeah.
what it's about,
Yeah.
without going, here is the show.
Yes.
Of course,
Right?
yeah.
Because then it's kind of like, well, then why am I go? You know what I mean?
It's like, at least let them know it's a thriller versus a comedy, kind of a comparison with that. Like, I'm here for a thriller. Okay, I'm ready for a thriller. I'm ready for the murder mystery. I get it. I'm here for that. Not like, why is this guy killing them in the beginning of the show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, okay.
So
okay,
you've
okay.
seen the show.
I haven't seen it. No, but I've heard you kill it. Actually,
But I would like to go back to, obviously without burning the bit, but the Bosnia story is one of my favorites, and
Bosnian stories and stuff.
yeah. You can. I know the funny version of it, but I don't actually think maybe I do, but whatever. The audience, you can just give us the factual version of it without the comedic.
Without the full like. So the real story of it is this is the first time I was in the Balkan region, right? And I had set up a run of shows. If I'm correct, the order of these were Ljubljana, Slovenia, then Zagreb, Croatia, Belgrade, Serbia, and Mostar, Bosnia. We didn't have Sarajevo. I did Sarajevo for the first time like later. And then from Mostar, I was going to Ohrid, Macedonia, right? I keep in mind, this is like 2014, something like that.
Those are all places that most people don't even know exist.
Oh, for sure. You just said sounds. I was like, right. That place.
So, it's all Balkan, former Yugoslavia, It's like 2014, 2015, which is important for later in the story, because this is like the first, if I remember correctly, like first big wave of Syrian refugee stuff is coming into Europe, and a lot of them are basically getting like stopped in the Balkans.
Yeah.
You're getting to like Serbia, and they can't get further west. But so I'm going
from Syria.
I'm going from Syria. I just been in Aleppo. I had to drop off some packages.
Yeah.
And don't worry about that.
Yeah.
No, I'm in Ljubljana.
Yeah.
Right. Ljubljana, Slovenia is fascinating. If you've never been, it's a
Never
gorgeous
been.
place.
No.
But you've got, I'm not gonna remember the name of it. It's the old military prison there that's become like an arts collective. Took it over 20 years ago.
You have one right here where you can see it from
right
this
next to
window.
us. Yeah,
It's
called Tycoon.
it's a former prison. It's not like particularly like a crazy Soviet prison, but you should check it out. It's a former prison until like 20 years ago, and now it's brunches and art galleries.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
this is like not officially taken. It's like graffiti, whatever. Like
right.
Oh,
bands
okay.
will
So
play.
it's still, okay.
Like
Oh,
you
cool.
can
That
you
does
can rock
feel
up on
cooler.
a Friday
It's a
and
bit
there's just
raw.
there's like a oil drum fire
Yeah.
going. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah,
like,
wow.
is this what is this legal?
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
never happen in Hong Kong.
No,
Exactly. All
no.
the drum
Yeah.
fires and
Yeah,
stuff.
the government's like, hey, do you have a license for this?
Yeah.
Where are your fire extinguisher?
Yeah, here's our license for a hobo concert.
Yeah, exactly.
No, the NSK State is originally from Ljubljana. NSK was an arts collective. They were a band, and they were an arts collective during the fall of Yugoslavia. So Yugoslavia is breaking up, right? And
I love how you find that this breaking up is such a funny word for a
Yeah.
country. It's like, no, I don't want to be with you anymore.
breaking up.
Well, the term Balkanization means
Yeah.
this. This is
Sure.
where the term comes from.
Yeah.
Right? So that's Yugoslavia being broken up into the Balk, right?
Right.
And then you have, if I remember correctly, I can't remember if Slovenia started it. I think Slovenia started it.
There's always two versions of breaking up. Who started it?
Yeah,
and who-
yeah.
who
But
did
it's
it?
like,
That's Slovenia's friends.
one was
Yeah,
like
exactly.
like one was like I'm out, and the
Yeah.
other was like, well, if you're out, well, then we're out. Well, then we're out, and then
Yeah.
everyone starts fighting.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I want to say it was like Macedonia was just quietly like, I guess we're out too, and like just never got into the fight. You know? Like, so there's always that too. Like one of them
Sure.
said, I'm just gonna walk away.
Yeah.
I mean, ironically enough, I think none of our listeners would actually do the homework of checking if your facts were correct. So.
Okay, if that's the case,
Slovenia.
so Godzilla had just attacked.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, our buddy Peter, who is a regular listener of the podcast, is from Hungary, and he would have a pretty.
He would absolutely,
extensive-
he would
know.
absolutely
yeah,
argue
he
about
would know.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still mad that Romania took Transylvania away.
I don't even know what that reference
Yeah.
is, but he's probably mad now.
So like Hungary and Romania have this argument over which one of them Transylvania actually belongs to. Like
Right.
culturally speaking,
Yes.
is that Hungarian or is it Romanian? And it's really fun to get like a Hungarian and a Romanian arguing about it.
Nice.
Because it'd be like you arguing over whose shittiest cousin is closer related to you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Why would you
like
wanna-
my third uncle who's in prison, he's actually more related to me than
Right.
he is to you. You know,
It's like, and you're proud of it for what
yeah,
reason?
exactly.
Yeah,
It's very confusing.
Isn't that where Arnold is from?
Huh?
Transylvania. Isn't Arnold Schwarzenegger's from
No, he's from
Austria, right?
Graz,
Austria? Oh,
Graz,
okay.
Austria.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounded.
There you
similar.
go.
Yeah.
Go to the chopper, man.
It's so funny because, like, to us, like, obviously, all of Europe sound kind of like,
Dude.
it's just all the same.
Dude,
and of
this
course,
is-
we're in Asia, and everyone else in the world is like, yeah, all of Asia is just one
Exactly.
place.
Yeah, I think this is like every place you've been telling me just now. All I can think of is that little patch of
Yes.
Europe. That's all I'm thinking. I'm like somewhere there. It's like people say with like Korea, Japan, China. I was
Exactly.
like, I guess it's that location.
Yeah.
yeah. Because I've
and then,
never.
yeah, same. You think of the Middle East, and you're like, yeah, it's just Arabs. It's just all Arabs.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Like, are vastly different.
This is fascinating
Yeah.
to me because like I'm enjoying this from the angle of when I get frustrated when people talk about Asia and they're like, oh, these Asians. I'm like, buddy, it's a big place, man. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of small
it's-
places.
Yeah, it's Asia's a funny one too because I've made comments like I'm doing a show in Toronto or something.
Yeah.
And then there'll be people in the audience from like Malaysia,
Mm.
right? And then I'll be talking with them, make some easy joke or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck about you want me to get some eggs and put them on your food you've ordered,
Yeah,
So
Sure.
yeah,
feel
you have to.
Malaysian.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I can watch the audience, so they're kind of like they have no clue.
Yeah. No reference.
Yeah.
They're
I'm
like,
sure.
what is
Only the Malaysians like, oh,
it
we
just
don't-
sounds racist.
Yeah.
Is that a place?
Yeah,
Or
is
is
that
he
a-
being really
Why
rude?
would, yeah. So what's about the eggs? That's
Why is he being
sacred?
rude to the immigrants?
And and the Malaysians are like this guy knows us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm like, why
gets
can't
us.
we find a Mamak in this town?
Yeah.
What's wrong with Toronto?
They're like, I wish I could do the thing that everyone else thinks is racist. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Actually, that brings me a really good point because this is something I've learned a lot when I go to more Western countries. Is that very often that the audience, especially the Caucasian audience, would look at you and you're doing like these Asian jokes or references, and they're like, "Oh, you shouldn't. That's appropriation. You really shouldn't be, doing that."
well, there's two threads there, right? So you do have like the overcorrection thing.
yeah.
And the overcorrection is fascinating because the overcorrection is itself, like you're pointing out, born in ignorance.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
But then you have the laughing for the wrong reason thing.
Yeah, mocking it like look at what
Yeah.
they do. They look at the egg. Yeah, exactly.
It's an at, not a with.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you have to be. That's a very hard lesson for me to learn earlier in comedy, where like
Yeah.
I would do stuff, and I'm trying to make fun of one thing, and then I learn later that that's not what people are laughing about.
yeah.
Yeah, they're laughing
know?
at the situation.
They're like,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
right about the way they is, and
Yeah.
you're like, what? That's not what I was saying at all.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then there's a writing lesson to learn about being more clear,
Yeah.
right?
Of course.
In what
Yeah.
you mean by something, whatever.
I had a
yeah.
thing with the Melbourne Festival that I mentioned in the podcast before. I was doing a split bill with my girlfriend Annie, who's Asian. And because she has a lot more audience in Melbourne, we timed it so it's just me and then her. She closes out the show. And we had a 3-week run, 2-week run. And for the first 10 shows out of 12, we realized that there is a problem where I come off as racist. Because
opening.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
he's the first
making
act.
China jokes. So we're like, let's just, as a test, switch the order. And then she does her jokes first. And it just, show got 300% better. I'm doing the same exact set. But now they have the approval of an Asian person before me.
Yeah.
And it was such a fascinating thing to catch. I've always done, like, the shows were good. But I can tell that they're uncomfortable at points. and that discomfort completely disappeared. She didn't go, here's my boyfriend, listen to him, he's funny. Just did her act before me. And that's all it took.
Yeah.
It was a crazy
Well,
experience.
that's psychologically, and it's referred to as like priming, right? So
Yes.
Like you prime them, and people are prepared.
Yeah.
They have a frame of mind now.
Yes.
Like clearly, if they know each other,
Yeah,
this guy
yeah.
is fine. You know.
Yes. But it's like it doesn't matter because I'm not even making jokes about her. I'm making jokes about my experience in China. That's what's fascinating about it. I'm just
Yeah, so,
and
like,
there's
I'll
like
give you
a
one- I'll
Chinese
give you
person
another
who's
one.
actually not Chinese. She's ethnically Chinese, but she grew up in Melbourne. So we joke about how I'm more Chinese than her. But just the fact that this Chinese ethnic person before me, like just with that face said like, I'm dating this person and then you're going to see him later. And then I go up and they're like, yeah, this guy's legit.
Yeah.
It's like, that doesn't even, why didn't you accept it from the beginning?
Well,
It's so weird.
We can talk like not in podcast form
Yeah.
about some ways to help with that, right?
Sure.
But like, I'll give you another example from. I had my previous show. I had a bit about being in. I want to say it's an elevator in Kuala Lumpur, and in Kuala Lumpur, Muslim women wear I think it's called the tudong.
Hijab.
Yeah, but I think locally it's called
yeah,
the tudong.
tudong,
But it's basically a hijab. Yeah.
Yeah.
But their local word for it, I think it's tudong.
Yeah.
And I'm explaining that. Like
Yeah.
in the bit, I explain, what that is. But a lady gets on the elevator and she's wearing a niqab, right? And in the bit, I explain just the eyes,
Sure.
or showing whatever. And the bit is me saying hello, right? And then me having a moment of, oh shit, was I supposed to do that? Like catching myself.
Yeah.
And then that person saying hello back to me, and then me being like, "Are they supposed to fucking?" And then them asking me a question, like like, "How are you doing today?" And I'm like, "Are we married?" Like, what?
Yeah, how does
like
this
that's
work? Yeah.
a very simple joke, right?
Yes.
In Malaysia, in the Middle East, in Toronto, where you have like a
More ethnic.
a more ethnic, but a strong Muslim audience
Sure.
that comes out to my shows there, crushes. I do that bit.
Yeah, they're like the imam for the mosque is telling jokes.
I do. I'm gonna bill myself as that. No, when I was in Pakistan, I kept trying to get him to change I said, just refer to me as the white mujahideen. Like we are
there you
not
go.
doing that. But I do that bit in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
And like little performing arts place thing. No, Birmingham, not Atlanta. That's Birmingham. Little performing arts, little black box theater type space. It's a very left leaning crowd in a
Yeah.
very, very conservative area. So you already have a little bit of overcorrection.
Yes.
Just because they're running away from
Yes,
complete
yes.
lunacy,
Yeah.
right? So they're the counter force to it. And I do that bit to like almost silence.
Yes. Yeah. They're like,
And they're
you
like
can't.
so uncomfortable
Like, you
with
should
the
not be
premise.
mocked. That's a very sensitive
But
topic.
that's the crazy part. He's not even mocking them. He's
not.
clearly you are the butt
I'm
of the
the
joke.
butt of the joke.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I think I can understand. I don't agree with what they're doing because they're like, yeah, but you see the issue is that women should not have to wear that.
Oh, I have a bit about that too, though.
Yeah.
But I mean, like
But
people
like-
also I learned when I was in Melbourne as well. I was like, they have this idea that like, oh, we shouldn't make fun of it because that issue is already such a wrong issue. We should be against this thing. We should not be talking about how you're confused by it. You should be like, this is not right. We should do something. Like in their head, this issue is automatically like this is something you should not be even being okay with to have this kind of thought process like am I talking to her? Do I do this? You should be like, this is not right. What can I do about this? Because
Yeah.
like, you get my point. I think over here in the same way when you talk about inclusion and everything, sometimes people make it a point about the pronouns and everything. I was like, yeah, I know. I'm not saying I'm not arguing against it. I'm just saying chill. We don't have to specify this stuff at this moment. We're enjoying life as well. But they're like, no, you must make sure you call them in the right pronoun. It's like, that's because that's all you see. When they see the situation, all they're seeing is the suppression of women. They're not seeing you in the elevator and having this reality. It's
Yeah.
like, bitch, you should be over there furious. How could you
Yeah,
even
they
think
get
these thoughts?
caught at
Yeah.
you saying
Well,
like
that's
a woman
that, and that's an arrogance coming from a very safe place.
Yeah,
When people
Exactly.
do that, and it's like
Yeah.
that whole there's a great one. Prakash Daniel told me he's at a photography.
Yeah, Kuala Lumpur. Yeah, from Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah, so he was at a photography conference thing, and the lady who was there, was a photographer, and she had done a bunch of a photo series. I'm trying to remember. In my brain, I want to say in Sierra Leone or something, but I could be way off, right?
Yeah.
And it's a photography series, and maybe she'd written something else about it or whatever. But it was about some very, very heavy issues. with women and how they're treated in whatever part of the world that she had done
Yeah.
this in. And a young girl in the back raised her hand, asking a question during the Q&A, and she starts like yelling at her basically about like, you just go over there and you take photos of these people and you exploit these people. Why don't you do anything to stop this? You just walk around and take photos, whatever. And she goes, you know what? That's a great point. That's a great point. And if you'd like to give me your name and number, I can connect you with the organizations that are doing stuff, and you can go over there and do something.
Yeah. Amazing.
And it's very
there.
much like,
Yeah,
who
yeah,
the
yeah.
fuck are you?
Yeah.
Sitting in a safe place, making a comment from a safe place about something far
judging
away.
someone
Yeah.
else, trying at least, even if
I mean,
not
taking the
to
photo-
your liking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
But she's a photographer.
yeah,
And
that's
so
what,
she
that's
just-
his
so she
job.
did her thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
and she's bringing light to the situation so more people know of
Yeah.
it, hopefully influencing maybe out of 10 people that saw it, maybe one's like, I should do something, and they will actually do it. Whereas you're just going like, you should go there and you should be doing stuff, not just taking photos. You have the opportunity, because that's the thing. They'll see you go in there. They're like, you were in the location. Why did you not do the thing
Wait,
that I
why,
did?
why didn't you go fix it and make it like here?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, how about you get a plane ticket and you go
Yeah.
fix it? Like, I can't afford a plane ticket. Like, well, then that's life, right? I can't afford to fix it. I got to
Yeah.
pay my bills too, Yeah.
Going back to Bosnia, where we
We're never
haven't
gonna do that
really
story,
ta-
but
yeah.
like,
no, we'll get the story
it's
out.
fine.
No,
But the,
no, it's not fine. I'm the host. I'm telling you, it's not fine.
Listen,
Goddamn,
You're
dude,
getting the
geez.
story out.
This is the Muhammad I grew up.
Yeah.
He's very abusive. This is
Yes,
how he
yeah,
gets.
exactly.
This is how he took your wife and your family from you.
Correct.
This is
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
game.
His mom is absolutely lovely, and my mom is very far away. I need another mom.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the most Bedouin shit you've ever said to me.
Yeah, I need
I need
another
another mom.
I need another
mom.
Let's
Give me
go over
yours.
there and get a new one.
Like, what? This is such an Egyptian thing
Just
to
take
think,
my
man.
friend's mom.
Such a typical Egyptian man thing. I want that one.
Yes, I want that one.
Yeah, go on.
All right, yeah. So we're talking about the history of that part of the world, the Balkan.
Oh yeah, so is that what we're
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is
we-
just
Derailed.
yeah,
You
I
like-
know, but I'm on. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what's happening.
He's keeping notes
Yes.
over here.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about this anymore.
So yeah, I would like the story, and I would like our audience to hear it. So yeah, keep going.
So I'm going to. I normally start the story going to Belgrade, right?
Right.
So like I've gone to Ljubljana and I went to Zagreb, and then going from Zagreb to Belgrade, right? And like I'm taking a train, and the joke of that is that basically because I didn't look up the fact that any other method of transportation would have been better. Like I could have walked it, I could have ridden a dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could have bought a horse and
Yeah.
like learned to ride a horse, and I would still have gotten
It's
there
all those
faster.
years of watching movies of people traveling by train. Like, that's the way. Let's
Yeah.
do it. Toot, toot.
There's
Yeah,
something romantic about it.
Well,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, but in like Balkan region, at least at that time, like that's a slow train. It's not
Yeah.
on time. It's always late. There's always problem. Whatever.
Sure.
And so we're just late. Like by the printed time. Like it said I would be there by this time, and we're like 2 hours late.
Sure.
And my joke about that was that you get a ticket. Most places in the world, it's got a departure and arrival time, and you have that there too. It's just the arrival time doesn't mean anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just made up numbers.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
had to like pick numbers so it would print. It has nothing to do with your day.
Yeah.
I don't know this. So I'm standing between the train cars. So every time the train pulls into a station and the doors open, I can, poke my head out and look for the name of the station, right?
Yeah.
Which I thought was smart, and maybe it would have been smart if in Serbia they put the names of the stations, but they don't.
Yeah.
It's like my theory is that the general attitude is if you don't know what it looks like where you're going, then like why are you coming here? Like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't-
Yeah, you should know.
I mean,
Yeah.
You shouldn't be here.
That's
we
very
don't,
true. That's
we
a
don't
very-
want you.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, it is a
That's
great
actually
point.
really useful.
Very
I mean,
strong attitude.
that's a strong, as in like you should know better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The doors open in like rural Serbia. You look out, you see no name for it does have a feeling of like you don't want to. We
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
want
you don't-
yeah.
you don't wanna
wanna
be here.
Yeah, if you can't recognize it, you're not
Keep
welcome.
moving.
Wow, that's actually I'm
That's
really
the vibe.
impressed.
That's
I'm
the
really
vibe.
impressed.
So
yeah.
that's like an hour of that. You know what I mean? Little old lady comes out in between the train cars, like standing like right next to me, like uncomfortably next to me. Like there's room to stand other places. She's just right up on me, and that goes through her little bags, like and pulls out cigarette and lighter, and she just like lights up a cigarette
And the train.
on the train.
Is this?
Yeah.
and
is
I
this-
just look at her, right? Because
Yeah,
I
you're like,
smoke.
yeah.
And I'm like, can we like smoke here? And I'm like pantomiming this, you know?
Yeah.
And she just like slowly turns her head, and as she exhales a puff of smoke, just goes Serbia. And I was like, oh shit.
Nice. yeah.
Like I love any place where the name of the place is
Yeah.
like your answer.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
always
exactly,
good, right?
yeah.
So we chug along more. Now we're just smoking on the train, having a blast. get to Belgrade, and in Belgrade, like I was saying earlier, this is in the beginnings of, at least, like the Syrian refugee crisis. So Belgrade is one of the places where people were basically getting stopped.
Yeah.
Like they could get to Belgrade and they couldn't get further.
Right.
And that's what the Belgrade train station was. It was like a mix of people that had been there for days or weeks trying to go west or being forced back, and lines of people, and there's military. That's what I step off into. And like, getting like moved into a
most important
line for a second, and then people being like, "What are you doing in this line? Go over there."
Right.
Did they have the name of the station there though?
It was very obvious.
There you go. That's why.
It was very obvious.
That's why they're
It
like,
was a big station.
Everyone's like, "This is welcoming. Let's go there." Like, fuck.
Yeah.
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 And you're like, here, hello, I'm telling jokes. I
Yeah.
need to tell jokes.
There's just cops and military everywhere, and I'm like just walking through like,
Yeah.
it'd be so
Yeah.
good if everybody answered you Serbia. You're like, oh, god damn it. This
Yeah.
is a running gag for tourists.
Well, the joke I've done about the lady is that like during the next hour we talked more, and that's all she ever said to me was Serbia. So like I don't even know if she was answering my question
yeah.
or
Oh,
like
Or
that.
she has Tourette's.
She has a
Yeah.
speech about, yeah, exactly.
She's just some crazy lady
Yeah.
who just says the word Serbia all the time.
I actually thought when she sat down next to you at the beginning, and maybe that's racist. I thought she's a gypsy. I thought she's gonna like.
I don't think you can use that word anymore.
Oh yeah, or they don't.
Really? You
Yeah,
can't?
I thought this is gonna rob you. Is it?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh well, we have a big
What's
gypsy
the-
population listening here. They're all gonna be offended.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
We're
man.
gonna keep it in. Yeah, yeah.
So you got off the train. There's a whole bunch of people. You're like, this place clearly is the stop that everyone's getting off of.
Yeah, I was like, this is so popular. The
Yeah.
shows are gonna crush.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, I was
yeah,
close to it. Like, oh man, this is a happening town.
Yeah, exactly. Falafel stand on the corner.
Oh, man, just
and
like,
guy already
sure.
started.
Yeah,
a
already
business.
started. Oh yeah, he had franchised by the
Yeah.
point I got there. I mean, that guy was crushing it. I'm sure
Yeah.
he's still there. No, we go. So the venue's looking for me, and I'm looking for them, right? So like we're basically, like trying to find a friend at a festival. You know what I mean? You're just
Sure,
through
sure.
a crowd.
Man,
You're trying to meet
yeah.
each other through this. Except this is like the world's saddest festival, and there's like military that keep grabbing me and like
Right.
telling me to go stand somewhere.
Yeah.
And then I get through that. We get to the venue, like the show's already on by the time I get there because that's
Yeah.
how late
Oh,
I am,
no.
right? So I come in, throw bags down, and then the lady running it goes,
Serbia.
There's going to be she goes, Serbia. She said, there's going to be a break, and then you'll go up. And then she just goes like, how are you getting to Sarajevo? Because I have to go through Sarajevo to get to Mostar.
Sure.
And I'm like, I don't know. I've been dealing with Serbia train, just getting here all day.
Yeah.
I hadn't even looked at it. I figure if I have to pay extra for the train or whatever. And she just laughs at me, right?
Uh-oh.
Because at this point, my geopolitics are terrible. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about the region really,
Yeah.
myself, right? At the time. There's no train from Belgrade to Sarajevo. Like they don't get along, my man.
Oh.
Like
Yeah.
they're not going to make ease of travel a thing. All
Yeah.
right. So there is no train. And then the buses are like, they all have to go through something else to go there. It's
Sure.
not a straight bus,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So there's like, I can't get there in time to get to wherever I have to go. She says, we'll figure it out. And so I go up to the show. She says, fine, come down. And we're like settling up, at the end of the night. And she just goes, oh, we solved the
Travel thing.
Sarajevo.
Yeah.
You can take the van. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, it's like a service. She's like, yeah, there's a van. There's a van service that runs, and they're running tomorrow. You can take them. They'll pick you up like 5:30 in the morning,
Sure.
whatever. And I'm like, all right, how much?
Yeah.
Like 20 euros. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So I go back, stay at like the world's creepiest like hotel thing that they'd booked, and then 5:30 in the morning, I'm on the curb. Waiting on the van, and I'm looking for like a shuttle service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you would take from one city to another,
Yeah, you
from
think
one
of-
airport to
yeah,
another,
different stops and to pick
it's
up
got
people.
a logo on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe it says Marriott. Like I don't know.
It has a roof.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking for. No, a van, like a Scooby Doo murder mystery machine with no paint, rolled up van.
Man.
Dude gets out of the van. He's wearing a suit. I thought that was a good sign.
Oh.
He's also wearing sunglasses. It's still dark outside. Thought that was a bad sign. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? He's wearing a Bluetooth earpiece that by this point was not a thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like 2015, those were
Yeah.
gone. But
Yeah.
he's still rocking it like jewelry. I assume
Any
it's-
moment somebody's gonna call me, gotta pick up the call.
I don't think it was connected to anything. I think it was literally
He's like a
jewelry.
hobo in New York, basically.
yeah.
Just like
Just-
wearing it, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
And so
So
he
you get in the
points at
van.
me. He
Did
points at
Did
me.
he offer you candy?
No.
Okay.
He points at me and he just says, Matt. And I'm like, yes. And then he goes, I don't speak English. And I'm like, cool, that's awesome.
Nice.
Why would we
Just do it.
You know?
Yeah.
So I get in the van and we're off. We pick up some other dudes. They also don't speak any English. They load a bunch of shit in the van. And then we're off and I'm exhausted. I just pass
He's
out.
a driver. He's a driver.
The
Like
sunglasses guy.
Bluetooth man is a driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So we're off, we're driving. I fall asleep, I'm exhausted. Wake up, we're at this like little like road stop, you know, in the mountains, whatever. We get out, we're gonna go and like eat, you know, like a late breakfast type thing.
Sure.
And I'm smoking a cigarette out front, talking with the driver dude, you know, sort of broken English. And I just ask him, I go, how long until we get to Bosnia, right? And he's like, yeah, Bosnia. I go, yeah, I know we're going to Bosnia, but like how long until we get there? And he just looks at me and he's like, realizes what I'm asking. And he just points at the ground and goes, Bosnia.
Oh.
And you realize that we've skipped the part where you go to a border and you hand a guy your passport or whatever. And that's the van I've been booked on.
Yeah.
Is the van you use when you don't want to go through a border crossing.
Right.
Oh, damn.
So now I don't know what we've loaded in the van from the other guys that joined us.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm a team player and I'm very competitive, so I'm on team smuggle operation. Like I want to
Of course.
succeed. Right?
Oh, snap.
So we get to Sarajevo, like the whole trip to Sarajevo. Like I didn't sleep anymore. I was up because I'm watching for cops. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm telling the driver, "There's a road. Watch that road, bro." You know what I mean? Like I'm in,
Yeah.
bird dogging it for him.
Oh, man.
And then we get to Sarajevo. We pull up, and like some other car pulls up, and like I'm helping unload. We're high fiving at the end. Like I have no idea what we just smuggled in here, but I'm glad
Whatever,
we
yeah.
did it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm
We did
super
it.
excited.
Oh, man.
Us. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, exactly. You're
me
part
on,
of the team.
Add me
Yeah.
on Facebook, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like let's be buds.
Yeah.
And so then now I'm just in Sarajevo, but I have to be a Mostar, right? So this is where like if I were to do like the full story on stage, this is one of the way stations. I would go
Yeah.
continue to Mostar,
Right.
Yeah.
or we can go back and do the other story.
Right. Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like this is such a good like cliffhanger for the Patreon.
It is. Yeah.
That'd be so good to be like, shall we do that? We'll find out on the
Yeah,
Patreon.
that is true. But before we end, this also reminded me, like, did you have to go back and do the immigration properly? Because that would be hilarious. You like to be smuggled into a country and go like, hey, it's like trying to go in from like you're supposed to go into the hotel from the lobby. But you like got into your room
Back
from
door.
the window,
Yeah,
and then you
yeah.
have to go back in downstairs and check in.
Yeah.
It's basically.
Yeah, no, so leaving.
You're like, here's your key card. You're like, I'm already in my room.
Yeah. Can you bring it up into
How
the
dare
room?
you.
Yeah.
Leaving, I took a bus out, but that was like super convoluted.
Yeah.
And then like no one cared
Yeah.
on that route at all. And the thing is, like, no one would have cared anyway
Yeah.
on the U.S. passport. Like, nobody would have given a shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no issues with me going in. And then leaving, no issues. But that bus ride leaving is its own thing because, like, we're going through the mountains of Montenegro and
Yeah.
all this stuff. And, like, every border we hit, there was a Turkish couple in front of me. And for whatever reason, and, like, you know, it's one of those where, like, if I had known them, I would have told them. But they
Yeah.
sat... instead of sitting together, one like sat over here on these seats and one sat across the aisle
like
on the
the-
other
yeah,
just
yeah,
to have
yeah.
more room, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
But they did that even at the border. And because you're not seated together and you're both together,
Yeah.
dude, every border we went through, they dumped all their shit out. And I'm like,
Oh,
if you'll
no.
just sit together,
Yeah,
they'll stop
yeah,
doing
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's
It looks
suspicious.
like you're trying to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
something
This is so stupid.
when you're not. You're just
Yeah.
trying to have more room and sleep.
Eventually, they just had like some sort of like therapist that told them you need more personal space.
Yeah.
Like, this is the perfect time for it. You're like, no, this is not the perfect time.
Yeah, no. At
Ah,
least move
man.
back for the border crossing.
Aye,
But-
aye.
Amazing. Do you feel like at some point you would want to do, because yes, you toured the world extensively and you're quite young still, but do you think at some point you will not want to tour as extensively and you'll want to maybe like find your favorite cities and like go back to those places?
Yeah, and there's some of that I still do. I kind of already do where I go back to certain, you know, places or whatever. But I'm still in that mode of trying to find places I haven't been, right? And going to places
Yeah.
that I haven't been. You know, doing stuff that people haven't done anything at all in.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to do, and in connecting them. So like that's what I was doing, you know, back
Yeah.
when we met, whatever. Where I'm trying to connect this group to that group, And then more of that and more of the workshop stuff I've done that's just kind of around writing and getting past like stereotype reinforcing and just accepting like the definitions of things from where you grew up, like getting past that kind of stuff. And helping people do that like with their own like writing, right? With their own comedy and performing. So because as you know, like you go around and you just get like stereotype boxes. We didn't get into this. But you get like stereotype box stuff in every little place, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Every
it's
comic
just
does
the
that,
variables are just been swapped around.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then it's inherently conservative is what's fascinating because it reinforces like the definitions that exist in the society. Or whatever.
Yeah, they
and there's
do
another
that.
way to like approach it that I find most comedians when I talk to them that they actually want to be doing and they're trying to be doing, but they're doing the other because it's what works.
Yeah. Because the mass audience would know of the stereotype and they would laugh at it, but the audience that comes to, let's say, 3 comedy shows would be like, that's the same joke the third time around again because it's a typical stereotype. Yeah.
And then, and like the first on your 2 examples there isn't laughing for the same reason, and they're laughing because this is group belonging reinforcement. Ah ha ha. Yes, we already know this.
Yeah, we
know
do
this
that.
term.
He realizes that as well. Yeah.
That's a very, very different function than introducing new information.
Okay.
That's its own podcast, probably.
Yeah, right over there. Yeah, that's a knowledge podcast.
That's its own podcast is probably the title of if your podcast, if you had one, because that's pretty much every conversation I have with you that is a bit long ends up with that's its own podcast or that's its own conversation. Yeah. Its own story. But always good to see you, man. On the Patreon, let's do this. Let's do the rest of the Bosnia story, the part that would be so Patreon is, you know what Patreon is.
Yeah.
Paid subscribers and all of that. So we'll get to the rest of the story for our Patreon members. Let's do it. Matt, thank you so much. How do people find you online?
Badfamiliar.com.
There you go. That's it. That's your entire existence.
It'll branch out to everything else.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Matt Davis, thank you so much for joining us on Ho Hong Kong. Thanks everyone for listening in. If you are enjoying this, please send it to a friend. Recommend it to your family and enemies and someone in prison. Also find us on Patreon. Patreon.com/HoHoPod. All right. Bye bye. They have a lot of time in prison. Don't laugh at me. Bye.